So welcome to the class. In the last class, we did consumers equilibrium with the two commodities case, and in this class, I'm going to take up two questions. So just look at this. That's a question that I've written there. So you know what? Like you can get questions like, using utility approach, how does a consumer reach equilibrium position when he buys two commodities? Explain with the help of utility schedule. Or for this you'll write the same answer. Or a consumer consumes only two goods X and Y. State and explain the condition of equilibrium with the help of a numerical example. Use utility analysis. You can get a question like this. Or a consumer consumes only two goods X and Y. Explain the conditions of consumer's equilibrium using utility analysis. So you can write it like this. When a consumer buys two commodities, say X and Y, he will attain equilibrium when the following two conditions are satisfied, which we've already done. So you can just write number one, the ratio of marginal utilities of two commodities to their respective prices must be equal. Symbolically, MUX upon PX should be equal to MUY upon PY. And second, marginal utility falls as consumption increases. So you write it like that. Okay. Then for the numerical example, you can say here, like for example, that the price of each good is rupees 1 per unit, and the consumer has say 5 rupees to spend. So how will he chalk out his expenditure on how much of X will he purchase and how much will he spend on Y to be in equilibrium? So yes, so you can make this schedule like this, which I'm going to explain to you. So you have these three columns. In the first column, you have units of consumption. In the second column, you have marginal utility of X commodity. And in the second, you have marginal utility of the Y commodity. So we know that the price of each good is rupee 1 per unit, and the consumer has 5 rupees to spend. So let's first mark out the utilities, the highest utility, which is the highest marginal utility he gets. That is when he consumes 1 unit of X, he gets 10. So let's mark it as 1. So the next highest marginal utility is which one? It is when he consumes the first unit of Y commodity, he gets 9. So mark it as second. And which is the next in number, which is a little lower than that? That is when he takes the second commodity of X commodity, the marginal utility is 8. So mark it as 3. He will spend his third rupee here. And then let us find out which is the next, the marginal utility, successive marginal utility, which is diminishing. So it is 6. So he will spend his fourth rupee here. And of course the last rupee, as we say, should be the same. And when he spends it on the third unit of X, his marginal utility is also 6. So either he spends it there or that. So fifth rupee he'll spend here. So in the above table, marginal utility X shows marginal utilities of commodity X, and marginal utility Y shows marginal utilities of commodity Y. Okay, so that's what it is. Then, as you see, since price of each commodity is taken as rupee 1 per unit marginal utility of X also means per rupee MUX. So MUX upon PX is the same. So likewise unit MUY means, that means likewise MUY means per rupee MUY is equal to MUY upon PY. So it's the same. So you have to work that out. So the consumer will spend the first rupee on good X, getting 10 utils of utility, second rupee on good Y, etc. that we just discussed. So 9 utils of utility, third rupee on good X getting 8 utils of utility, fourth rupee on good Y getting 6, and the fifth rupee on good X getting 6 utils of utility. So the consumer spends rupees 3 on X and rupees 2 on Y, and his total utility will be TU is equal to total utility of X plus total utility of Y. So what is it? So we know total utility is summation of all the marginal utilities. So we have summed it up. So the marginal utility is 10 plus 8 plus 6. That is for X. And the total utility of Y is 9 plus 6. That is 15. So you add that up. And what you get is like you've seen here. Okay, sorry. So you get 39 utils. So when you do that, right? So this is how you get it. Okay. Then what happens? So suppose in case the consumer wants to spend his money in any other alternative way, his total utility then will be less than 43 utils. You can do it and see. Suppose if he spends 2 on X and 3 on Y, then what will happen? No, he won't get it as much. Okay, so to be in equilibrium, he'll have to do that. So this is how in his mind, he will have what is known as consumer's equilibrium. That will be at his equilibrium point or the highest satisfaction point. So there is another question that we can do quickly. Okay, so for example, again, a consumer has, second question that we'll be doing. So a consumer consumes only 2 goods X and Y. At a consumption level of these 2 goods, he finds that the ratio of the marginal utility of price in case of Y is higher than in case of X. So what will be the reaction of the consumer? So here you can just start writing, like you can write MUY upon PY is greater than MUX upon PX, implies that per rupee MUY is higher than per rupee MUX. So this induces the consumer to transfer some expenditure from good X to good Y. Now prices of the goods remaining unchanged, buying more of Y would reduce per rupee MUY, and buying less of X would raise per rupee MUX. And this will continue till MUX will be equal to MUY. So he'll come, so the ratio will be maintained and he'll come back to equilibrium. So that's what it is. This is how you must practice these numerical or these statements, and it's very interesting.